In this video, we're going to be looking at a Dapper code generator. Dapper is the link between our C# code and SQL, and we will be using stored procedures held within the SQL database for inserting, updating, and reading records. And the Dapper code generator will create those stored procedures for us. We will also need classes, a service, and interfaces within our C# code, and the code generator will do that for us as well. I've previously explained that Alan Simpson has created a code generator, and we will therefore be using his code generator to do all the really hard work for us. So let's have a look at what we need to do. The first thing we need to do is to download Alan Simpson's code generator. I'll put the link in the description, but let's just go open a browser and go to it. And once you're there, he's pinned it to the top here, but in case it moves in future, if you go to repositories, Blazor Dapper code generator, select that and download the zip. When that's downloaded, I'll just, that's the zip file. I'll just copy that and put it on the desktop. And I'll extract everything. And in there we'll find Blazor Dapper code generator. If you run that, it'll open up in Visual Studio. And all we need to do is simply run it. Now this is the Alan Simpson's code generator. What we need to do is two things. First of all, put in the namespace there of the name of our project and the SQL create table for each table. So let me just fill this in to start with. And the create table we can get from SQL Studio. I've already got that running. If you go to the database, tables, and PO header, we've got 5 tables, so we'll have to do each of these in turn. But let me just choose PO header to start with. And if I script table, create to new query window, that is the bit that we need. So just stop at before the constraint. So copy that. We don't need that any longer. Paste that in this window and select go. And it then produces this script down here. Copy all that, and you can see there's quite a lot of it. Actually, we don't need all of it. Well, we'll copy the lot. Doesn't really make any difference. Copy that and put it into Notepad++. I'll choose a new file. And go to the top. Now there's some things at the top here that it says you need to do in Visual Studio. We've already done those, so we can ignore that. And we need to come down here to the SQL, to the stored procedures, and they start here. So copy from create procedure for the first insert down to the end there, go back into SQL and create a new query and paste. Now this includes a stored procedure for inserting, listing, selecting one, selecting like, selecting a date range, update, and delete. Now we aren't going to need the delete one because we decided we're going to mark our records as archived rather than deleting the records. We aren't going to need the select data range or the search one to start with, so we may as well delete those. And in this list, it's got top 30. I think we want to make sure that we get all the records back, and you'll see here that it's only listing the first 6 fields. So ID, number, date, supplier ID, address 1 and address 2. I think it would be a much better idea if we got all the columns back. So to do that, luckily, for the select one, the code generator has produced all of them, the text for all of them. So I can just copy that and then paste over here. And the other thing is that if we insert go statements after each of these, it will run all these scripts in one go. So that looks what we need to do. I'll just parse it to make sure we haven't got any errors. That's fine. Execute it, and we've now got the stored procedures for the PO header table. And if we look under programmability, stored procedures, I need to refresh it. Stored procedures, and there we've got the stored procedures for get one, insert, list, and update. We don't need this, so we can close that. The code generator has also given us the model class. Model class is the service and the interface that we need for C#. So let's go back to, that's the code generator. We don't need that, so we can close that. Yes, we do want to stop debugging. And this is our Blazor Purchase Orders project. In data, we will want to, it says, create some classes. One is called PO header.cs. This is the model class. So in here, data, add class. And it's going to be called the name of the table, which is PO header.cs. And then we want to copy everything for that PO class from the data, from the code generator, and paste it over there. The next thing we need to do is to add a class called PO header service. And copy and paste. This is quite a long file. Again, we'll just replace everything we've got in there. And the next stage is we want one called IPO header service for the interface. Now, because this is the code that has been generated, it's added in here PO header delete, which we don't want, or don't need, and these two search ones for search and date range. So we'll delete those as well. And the same for the header service. So we've probably got in here update. Let's start from the top. Insert, list, search we don't want. And date range we don't want. We do want get one, update, don't need delete. So that's the model, the service, and the interface. And we need to make one small change to startup. So I can just copy that and go to startup. And in here, in the configure services, we could add it down here. Right, that should be that. Let's save it and run it just to check nothing nasty's happened. Well, it works, so that looks fine. So I'll say save everything. Now we've done that for one table. That needs to be repeated for every table we're using. I've already, so I have closed the code generator. So we'd need to restart that and rerun for each table in turn. So back here, Blazor Purchase Orders, back into SQL, get the next table definition, PO line, copy the create table, and repeat. So you see the process. I won't bore you with just going through that again and again and again, but we need to do that for each table. That's it. I'll put all the links necessary in the description and a link as well to the blazorcode.uk website where you can find written instructions for this. Thank you.